Welcome back to Anime Recap. In the last video, we were talking about Kureha accepts that she had been fighting on the wrong side, and decides to rethink what justice truly meant. Referring back to when Keyarga healed her arm, she reaffirms her promise to assist him. She then succumbs to the effect of the filter, and has some fun with Keyarga. If you haven't watched it, you can click the card in the top right corner to watch the full series of the videos. Without further ado, let's get started. Meanwhile, Renard and his forces approach Alban Village, the former eager to exact revenge. Keyarga and his companions are alerted outside to see that Jorial Knights have rounded up the villagers from Keyarga's village in an attempt to draw him out. Noticing that Anna is not among them, Keyarga disguises himself as one of the soldiers from the Ice Wolf village and meets with a knight to gather information. After giving the knight an invitation for Renard to meet up with him, Keyarga learns from him that the captain of the Knights, Renard, had publicly bullied Anna in front of the other villagers, much to his horror. Once Renard and his squad met up with the disguised Keyarga, the latter reveals himself. Renard furiously attempts to draw his sword, but paralyzing gas immobilizes him and his unit. Through his heal ability, Keyarga is able to witness the exact circumstances of Anna's bully, which aggravates him even further. Keyarga then transforms him into a woman and declares that he will make him suffer the way Anna did. Renard mockingly revels in recounting the experience, but his joy turns to horror upon seeing his men setting their sights on him. Keyarga states that Renard inflicts pain on others simply because he doesn't feel it himself, and then he tells Renard to do so as his brainwashed men begin ravaging him. To ensure Renard's demise, Keyarga sets the building on fire. Keyarga rushes to his home village to help Anna, but she dies, even as he repeatedly tries to heal her. He returns to the inn to vent with Setsuna and Freia, and decides this would be the last time he will shed tears. At Jioral Castle, Norn is displeased to hear that Renard has gone missing, so she steps on her servant John to vent and decides to execute the villagers. She contemplates getting Blade's help, but is put off when she notes her overall nature. Back to the inn, Kureha tells Keyarga that the villagers have been placed in the Colosseum, a fortified arena with 2 magic barriers that siphon stamina and energy. She questions his resolve to save the villagers despite the poor odds, and Keyarga insists, claiming that doing so would prevent more victims of the Jioral Kingdom. Kureha also informs that Norn has returned from her studies, which triggers Keyarga and Freia. A flashback to the previous timeline reveals Norn was able to figure out Keyarga had regained his sanity during captivity. In exchange for keeping her mouth shut, she had Keyarga repeat the act he performed on Flare. Keyarga regards her as the one person able to kill him in this world and decides not to target her until he has done something to him. Keyarga blends in with the spectators at the Colosseum, having made preparations to save the villagers. Before the execution starts, Keyarga grabs the attention of everyone present by revealing himself. Keyarga begins to slaughter the executioners and does not stop even when they start killing the villagers. The executioners try to use a magical barrier to drain his strength, but Freya reverses the effect. Keyarga learns that the villagers were fed poison earlier, so they were already dying. He's only able to save one boy. Freya reveals herself pretending to be Flare, and reveals the corruption in Jioral, causing the people to turn on the executioners and kill them. Aware the boy blames him for everything that happened to the village, Keyarga tells the merchant to care for him. Freya leaves to continue spying on the kingdom and warns him that Norn and her army are headed for the city of Branica. Keyarga notes that Norn never went to Branica in his first life. Keyarga decides to go to Branica as well because the Demon Lord will be there and he wants to meet her again. Along the way they make camp, and Keyarga enjoys his time with Freya and Setsuna. Freya says she will kill anyone who stands in his way, causing Keyarga to realize that excluding her devotion to him, her personality is not that different from Flare. Freya's incredible power causes her magic staves to eventually break, so Keyarga decides they will one day have to acquire divine weapons that can handle it. The party arrives at Branica, where humans and other races live in harmony unlike other places. At a restaurant they meet Eve Reese, the Demon Lord Keyarga met and defeated in his first life. But she is less powerful, causing Keyarga to realize she is not yet the Demon Lord. She is a member of the Blackwing tribe, whom the current Demon Lord ordered to be eradicated. Bounty hunters attack her and she is hit by a poisoned arrow, but Keyarga's party rescues her and heals her. While hiding out, Keyarga explains to Eve that he met her in the future and she will become the Demon Lord, offering to protect her until she claims her destiny. She does not believe him but agrees to stay with the group. Later that night, Eve wakes up and is shocked and embarrassed to find Keyarga playing with Freia and Setsuna right in front of her. Keyarga invites her to join them and taunts her to prove she is a grown-up, but Eve turns down Keyarga's offer. Keyarga says once she becomes the Demon Lord, he wants the Philosopher's Stone, and for her to secure peace between humans and demons. While discussing their combat capabilities, Eve explains that she can summon the legendary disease-spreading bird, Caladrius, but she will have to endure several trials, including traveling all around the world to make it obey her. Keyarga disguises himself and scouts the city, but a bounty hunter recognizes him due to his scent, forcing Keyarga to kill him. Keyarga returns and has fun with Freia and Setsuna. Embarrassed, Eve leaves the room, but is aroused, listens, and DIY. So Keyarga notes it's only a matter of time before she gives in to his advances. Keyarga and Setsuna track down the bounty hunters and massacre them. As payback for them destroying the restaurant, they leave the survivors in a pit to be devoured by a beast. Freya buys a magic staff and Kaguya improves it. When he improves the other staves in the store, the owner gives him some money back and a mithril sword. Keyarga is furious when Norn, her army, and Blade arrive in Branica. Keyarga retreats when he notices Norn and Blade are accompanied by the hero Hawkeye. That night, Blade tortures a girl. Keyarga sells some potions to Carmen, the store owner, who warns him about the girl's fate. Keyarga decides to use himself as bait. He then transforms into a woman named Kiaru. At a pub, Blade is enticed by Kiaru and offers her a drink. Blade transfers a sleeping potion via a kiss, and Kiaru pretends to pass out. While Blade carries her into a hotel, the father of the girl whom Blade tortured attacks her. As such, Kiaru is forced to fight Blade. However, Blade's sword, Ragnarok, enhances her strength and allows her to heal from injuries. Kiaru is knocked out cold, and later wakes up tied to Blade's bed. Blade prepares to make the next move on her, but is horrified to discover that Kiaru has a rod. Kiaru breaks her bonds and stabs Blade with a poison dagger. Blade attempts to reach Ragnarok to heal but is stabbed again and passes out. Kiaru declares it's time for revenge. Kiaru reads Blade's memories and learns Norn plans to attack Branica in 3 days. After paralyzing Blade's legs, she has to pleasure 3 men at once or risk getting eaten due to the drug Kiaru created. In the end, Blade is eaten by the same 3 men and died. This caused Ragnarok to revert to a gem. After reverting to his true form, Keyarga meets Trist Organ, aka Hawkeye. Hawkeye is impressed by the potions he sold to Carmen and invites him to join his army, but he declines. Realizing Hawkeye is too powerful for him, Keyarga connects with the gem to form a new weapon. It transforms into a clawed gauntlet called Gorgeous that can heal the user's injuries. On the 3rd day, Norn becomes tired of searching for Blade and dismisses her as worthless, accusing the demons of Branica of brainwashing humans into accepting them. Norn commands her army to kill everyone. Keyarga is furious when Carmen is killed and begins to slaughter the soldiers. Norn and Hawkeye are shocked when Freya, pretending to be Flare, projects a giant hologram of herself in the sky. Freya declares that non-humans are not the enemy and asks the soldiers to stand down, which they do. As Norn and Hawkeye express confusion, Keyarga breaks in and battles Hawkeye, kills him, then knocks out Norn. Afterward, he reads her memories and learns she was responsible for Renard attacking his village. When she wakes up, he brainwashes Freya into acting like a dog, then promises if she can withstand Freya's attentions until morning, he will release her. Norn fails this challenge, so he humiliates her. He then erases Norn's memories and turns her into Ellen, his little sister who is in love with him, and turns Freya back to normal. Kureha arrives and Keyarga introduces Ellen. After that, Keyarga enjoys his time with Freya, Setsuna, Ellen, and Kureha. He decides his party will travel until they can help Eve tame Caladrius, but pauses to lay flowers on Carmen's grave, saying he avenged him and Anna. The king of Dioral assigns Bullet to stop Keyarga. Keyarga realizes he is starting to care for his girls, but decides he will never know peace until he gets revenge on Bullet, too. This whole anime is a wild ride. Overall, the anime is pretty good and the fight and romantic scenes are pretty fluid. The best part about the show is the unique protagonist. Usually, in anime, the protagonist is a sweetheart who is afraid to hurt anyone, but here, the main character is edgy and unapologetic toward anyone who causes him harm. We hope you enjoyed the video, and the anime as well. We'll see you in the next one. Take care till then. Bye!